Hi, this is Rachel with Beadaholique, and in this video I want to show you how to add extra Griffin silk thread to a long wrapped bracelet. So I'm working on a long wrapped bracelet on the Wrapit Loom. This is going to be an extra long bracelet because I'm using the 2 tracks that come with the Wrapit Loom Professional Series Duo, and I also have the 3rd track attached here from the original Wrapit Loom. So it's a fun fact that if you have the original Wrapit Loom, you can actually add that track onto the 2 tracks of the Professional series and make super long wrapped bracelets that go around your wrist multiple times. So this one will actually be a quadruple wrap bracelet on me, which is pretty fun. Now the one thing when you're making very long wrapped bracelets, and especially when you're using tiny beads, like here I'm using some Miyuki Delicas that involve lots of wraps around the 2 leather cords. So when you do that, you're going to have to add extra Griffin silk thread to keep doing those wraps. And you'll have to do that on both sides because when you use the Wrapit Loom, you attach 2 cords of Griffin silk thread, 1 for each side. And so you'll have to add thread on both sides of your bracelet. Now I've already gone ahead and done one side here. I've added an extra thread over here. And I just have my short thread here that I'm going to have to lengthen to keep working on this bracelet. So the original cords of Griffin silk got me about halfway through this bracelet because I have so many wraps on these tiny delicas. So I'm going to show you how I did that. So to do this, you will need some extra Griffin silk cord. You'll need 2 cards, and since I already added one of my threads, I just have 1 card here. You'll need a Sharpie. You'll need some GS Hypo cement glue and some scissors or thread snips or your favorite thread cutting implement. So let's get started. So just to review, I'm going to add a bead the normal way before I put on the new thread. So I'm going to take one of my Griffin silk threads and pull it up and out over the leather cord on one side. Then I'm going to take my other thread, pull it up and over the leather cord on the other side. Then I'm going to take a bead. I'm using 4mm Czech fire polish beads. I'm going to string it on one cord and pull that cord across to the other side of the loom, and then take the needle of my other silk thread and cross it through the bead and pull. And now I'm just going to pull that tight on the loom and slide it up. And that's how to add a bead. And now, so I want to add new thread over here. And that's going to involve creating a knot. And I want that knot to be hidden inside one of these Czech glass beads because it doesn't look as nice to have the knot on the outside on one of your wraps around the leather cord. So what I'm going to do is wrap this thread around the leather as if I was about to add another bead. And I'm going to gauge where the next bead is going to be. It's going to be about there. I'm going to take a Sharpie and just lightly mark where that next bead is going to go. And if you're using black Griffin silk, you would use a silver marker, something that shows up on black thread. Oops. So now I'm going to take this thread off of the leather. Now I'm going to take my new length of Griffin silk. I've already gone ahead and taken it off the card. I'm going to take my old thread here and find where I marked it with the Sharpie. And at that point, I'm going to make a half hitch knot. And on top of it, I'm going to make another half hitch knot. And I'm just going to pull that tight. And make sure it's right on the place where you marked so that this knot is hidden inside of your bead. So after you pull that tight, take your Hypo cement glue. Oop, mine's leaking a little bit. And just put a few dabs of glue right on that knot. And then you want to let that dry for about 5 minutes, and I'll come back and finish. Now that the glue is dry, I'm going to proceed and add the next bead. So like usual, I'm going to take my now tied double cord, the old cord and the new cord of Griffin silk, and wrap it around the leather cord on the outside. And I'm going to do the same on the other side. Take my cord and wrap it around the leather and get ready to add a new bead. So now I'm going to take my bead and I'm going to take the needle end of my new length of Griffin silk that I just tied on, and I'm going to string the bead onto the needle. And I'm also going to take the needle of my old thread on this side and also string that through the bead. So now this new bead is strung on 2 lengths of Griffin silk, the new one that was just tied on and the original thread on this side. And I'm going to slide this bead down almost to the knot, not quite on the knot, because I want to have room inside that bead hole to cross my Griffin silk on the other side. So I'm going to go ahead and do that now. I'm just going to push that needle through the bead and pull that thread to the other side. Now I'm going to tighten just like usual, and I'm going to pull the bead so that the knot is right inside that bead, and tighten the other side. And now this bead is in place in the loom work, and I just have my thread tails to deal with. So I'm going to take scissors, or if you want to get in with something finer, you can do bead snips. And I'm just going to, I have 1 thread tail on each side of the bead, so I'm just going to get in with the scissors and cut those thread tails off from the old length of Griffin silk. Make sure not to cut off your new thread, that would defeat the purpose. And if there's any marker that you got on your old piece of Griffin silk here that is outside of the bead, you're just going to cut that off when you get rid of this thread tail. So there you have it. Now this bead is in place and it's hiding the knot of the new length of Griffin silk, and I have plenty of room to keep on wrapping this extra long wrap bracelet. You can find all of these supplies at Beadaholique.com. Thanks so much for watching.